Hello and welcome to How to DeFi. I'm Ryan and today I'm going to show you how to make a loan with leverage on Abracadabra. So what I'm going to use for this is XJO, and I've already done it and it took a little bit to go through, so sorry, I was going to show you in real time, but let's start from the top. So the first thing is you need to acquire Joe. And to do so, you can use AVAX. I used about $15 worth of wrapped AVAX, and you will simply then just go into Joe, and you will trade whatever for Joe. Once this is done, you then go over to stake. You need to stake the Joe that you just bought in order to receive XJoe. After you have staked your Joe and you have XJoe, you then need to go over to Abracadabra Money and go to the Borrow tab. And in the Borrow tab, you will then see all of the available cauldrons. I would also like to show you how to do this with time and wrapped memo. The problem is there's almost never money in here, so it's really hard to time it for making a video, so I'm sorry. But this process will apply to any of these that support leverage. Also on Phantom, also on the Binance Smart Chain as they continue rolling out the features there. So how to do this. Inside of here, I want to deposit my XJoe, which I've already done. And if I add it in there, it will say, of course, I can't because I already have. But when you do this, you will then hit the change leverage button and you will adjust the slider for however much you want to take a risk. You can essentially get up to 4x leverage here. The problem is if you run 4x leverage and the price drops 5%, you're probably going to be liquidated and you will lose your money. And the thing is, when you run leverage inside of Abracadabra, it's a double or nothing kind of game. You will lose 100% of your collateral if you do this and the price drops to the point that it triggers liquidation. So you do have to be very careful with how you handle this. With that said, you can get up to roughly 4 times leverage inside of here. So the safest is going to be this little ticker here right above the first level, where essentially you're depositing Joe, you're borrowing MEM, you're buying Joe with the MEM, and you're depositing that. So it's one loop, gives you the most amount of collateral versus the least amount of MEM borrowed. So in doing this, I had 0.11 wrapped AVAX, which at the time was about $104 for the AVAX tokens, so should be roughly around like $12, something like that. That has turned into $23 because I've ran the leverage in here. And that gives me $35 in value. So yeah, $12 if you do the math right now, because it hasn't had time to appreciate or depreciate. If the price of XJoe, not the price of Joe, the price of XJoe drops below $2.49, I will be liquidated. That's how it works. If it goes up, I own the difference if I either deleverage it or if I just simply pay back the MEM from other sources. So that's how that works. It's pretty straightforward. It is risky, very risky. I would not do this with a large amount of your money, but if you think, for example, let's use the case of Memo for me. I have a substantial amount of Memo. I would not risk my main bag of time or Memo for this. I would, however, perhaps if I think it's going to shoot up. Right now it's at 3,500. I think it will likely go up. I think that's pretty much the floor. So I might do leverage in here of $100 or $200 and leverage it 3x and see what happens. I could lose a couple $100, or I could gain, potentially a lot more if we go back to the 4,500, 5,000, 6,000 range. So manage your risk accordingly, but that is how you use leverage on Abracadabra. And thanks for watching.